In the recent GTC 2025, Jensen Huang quote like agentic AI is the future.
We discovered we need to build something in agentic AI before even world knew that there is something called agentic AI.
Internet can be accessed by anyone, right? AI is the first. After that, I think, you can say it can be used by anyone.
So founders, as leaders in the ecosystem, we should think of how we can empower our team with agentic AI. That's rather than thinking that, okay, I'll replace them. AI is like a co-pilot. It will learn and grow with us.
I think AI is not like taking jobs away, it's redistributing the job ecosystem itself.
Welcome everyone to the next episode of Impactables with Rishav. Today we have Sarthak from Floworks. Welcome Sarthak.
Hi Rishav, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Doing great.
Okay, so we'll start with the journey, but first I want to know that why agentic AI for SDRs, what you're building in Floworks.
Great question. So let's start with the biggest question people have. What is an agentic AI, right? What is an agent in general, right? So if you just take the definition of an agent is basically someone or something that is doing your job, that is able to do your job basically, right? Now, if you think about an AI agent, what that means is basically an AI that can do your job. Simply put, very broadly, right? And if you talk about technically how that is happening, basically AI suddenly is a system or let's say a program or a algorithm that can take conscious decisions. Now can take actually decisions on humans' behalf, like should I do A or should I do B or should I do C? And it is also right many times, or like humans it's wrong at sometimes as well. But suddenly if you basically give that power to a software, you suddenly can see that in the knowledge working space where basically you are using a lot of softwares, if you're using any kind of solution, you can get that AI to do that KPI or the work for you, right? And that's an agent in a very simple sense, right? An AI that takes actions, not just an AI that is giving you information, but it's actually doing your work. Now, obviously, as soon as this came in, right, like the world starts asking this question, how do we manually or how do we use this in our day-to-day lives? And the first example that comes in our job roles is if you look at sales, operations, finance, what are the places where AI can do the job, right? You don't want a human being or you don't need a human being to do that right now. And the simplest explanation, and so I come from a sales background. I have been doing sales throughout my life, right? So for me, the simplest and direct answer was what an agent can do in sales. And that to me was an SDR, an operations, sales ops guy, or someone who's looking after success.
Okay, so in this segment, like right from what I understand from sales is right from finding the lead, reaching out, setting up calls, sending proposals, follow-ups, onboarding. These are the steps.
Yep.
Which part you are solving?
So we solve the part till a human gets in front of the prospect, till that part. So what I mean by that is, if we look at a sales pipeline, right, or a sales cycle, right? Obviously, there's a space where you are now reaching out to people. You are starting to think that these are the people who can buy my product, right? I'm reaching out to them. Then the part is, okay, now I'm reaching out to them with some messaging that this is what I'm trying to do, what it means, and you have to basically get them to look at your messaging and all of those things. Once they're interested in at least starting that conversation, because again, no one will give you the time, right? You still want to now gauge their attention, give them something that they would want to spend more time on, seriously, and also you want to qualify them, are they really a good customer for me or not? Once that is done, then finally a sales guy gets involved, which is
the demo call.
So anything before the demo call, our solution takes care of. And anything after the demo call, there are parts of that also the solution takes care of. Mainly what we want the human to do with our solution is just be there for the relationships. He can build the relationship because AI cannot replace those human relationships. The human comes, does those human relationships, does the sales, meanwhile getting assisted by AI and does a much better job.
So how it happens, like for example, normal HDR, or we talk about people who are doing outreach. So they find prospects on LinkedIn mostly. They send a connection request, they drop a message over there, or they extract mail IDs and drop emails actually. So this process is being managed by the entire system?
Exactly. The solution can do all of that what you said and more. at a much
Okay.
faster speed because again it's a computer, right? So I'll give you an example, right? Live example, by the way, of one of the customers. So a customer wanted to, reach out to people who are attending Saastr for this year. Now, for the audience, Saastr is basically the biggest SaaS conference
Correct.
of the world, right? It happens in San Francisco every year. Now, obviously, no database in this world has this information. If I were a human SDR who were given this task by my, let's say, CEO, what would I have done? I would have went to my LinkedIn, found out people who are saying hashtag Saastr. Those are definitely people who are going. I would have gone to the website of Saastr and looked at which are the people who are attending, who have said attending there, or who are the people who are your, let's say, the speakers, right, who are coming in there. Then I would have also gone to some event page that must be having there, right, like Luma page or something like that, where people are saying that I'm attending there. And I would have basically literally copied and pasted that whole data in my Excel, then went on manually to find out the people, their information, what are they basically talking about over the internet, everything like, and then I would have reached out to them. This is exactly what Alisha did for them.
Okay.
The difference is that a human, if I were doing this, would have taken maybe a month to do this. The system was able to do that in a day.
So, like when we come to the costing part, like for example, in Bangalore, if a 1 year experienced guy is doing this one, I think average 35,000 salary is there.
Yep.
And if I put your SDR and your SDR name is Alisha.
Yes.
So Alisha SDR, how much it will cost me?
Yeah. So let's start by so you're actually discounting a few factors which humans basically bring in, which is starting with which is the inefficiency of the humans. They'll not work in the night. There will be basically misses that happen. Then databases costs are there. You have to buy Alisha, Apollo,
everything.
XYZ, health benefits and all of that.
Okay.
So when we found out for the 1 year to 3 year average SDR, like experienced SDR in India, if you're hiring them, the overall cost comes to be around 60 to 70,000 rupees.
Correct.
That's what you get, right?
Including all the email tools and
including
everything.
all of this, right? Plus, you still then keep the baggage of training this person, getting them to basically an amazing, step where they are able to, churn good meetings for you, and essentially all the health benefits and all the basically benefits that come in. Alisha AI is starting off better than this 1 year or 3 year person, right? Even though you are looking at replacing a 1 year, 3 year person, it starts by being someone who is already trained at being, a 5 year or 7 year plus experience SDR kind of job. Never screws up, doesn't need a vacation day. It's infinitely scalable because hey, it's credit card away, right? It comes with the database, all of that. All of that, basically we charge 40,000 rupees.
40,000 per month.
40,000 rupees per month. And there, what you get is no bullshit, you are using this solution for a month. No. Very clear cut, how many reach outs are you doing in a month? We basically peg this on the number of people we are able to reach out with Alisha. So we say 1,000 reach outs is what maximum the best SDR can do today. I'll give you the same 1,000 reach outs for that 40,000 rupees. And again, if your product has value, it will generate meetings which is, like 8x or 7x cheaper than the market rate right now.
So this Alisha sends message to customers, or like my profile, suppose my profile is integrated with the SDR Alisha, and it will happen from my profile only, or like there's a different account which creates for Alisha?
It will be your profile only.
Okay.
So it is basically acting like a ghost SDR on your behalf.
Got it.
Your AE or the salesman is the person who will be the persona who will be used on their LinkedIn, on their email. And then hence, because this is happening whenever the prospect comes on a call, there's no disconnect as well. It's like the same
That is
person.
most important actually. And when we talk about the all other subscriptions which comes around, like finding the email IDs, taking the subscription of Lusa, Apollo, whatever it is, so it's included in this?
Everything is covered. You don't have to care about anything. Our system comes with a 700 million plus verified email account database already, which is the largest in the world. We already have all the, we have 180 plus databases, by the way, connected, which are also social databases, right? So you think about your LinkedIn, Reddit, everything is connected in the solution, right? You can literally just in natural language ask it, the query that I told you, right? Who are the people who are going to Saastr in 2025 or 2026? Just put this in. System will figure out how to figure it out. It will get you the list.
And then you can reach out to them.
Yep, the system will reach out.
Got it. It's like very well explained what you guys are building. But again, this question arises, how the existing SDRs who are there in the market are reacting to this, and is the job is being snatched by Alisha?
Well, only if you are not upskilling yourself. Let's start with that. So the world has always basically grown and evolved as new technology has come in, right? Always take an example of industrial revolution, because that was an amazing time where the world had a massive shift, similar to how AI revolution will have, right? At that time, farmers, basically the daily wage workers also protested that, hey, it will take away my job, and frankly it did. But what really happened was this pushed the humanity to upskill themselves and start basically working in factories, which basically gave them the current infrastructure where we are living in right now. You have fixed income, you actually have security of your job and lifestyle, and overall your economic stability of you and the society grew up. The same thing is happening with AI. Now AI is, what is AI doing? It's basically adding brains to these machines, right? But again, as I said, human relationship is something which AI still cannot do. You still have to have that face to face. So what happens to these SDRs? Well, they upskill themselves, and that's what we have seen across the companies, right? Like, we work with so many amazing companies, and if I take a few examples, there were cases where they were planning to hire a few more SDRs in the team, right? They were like, okay, and by the way, let me start by also saying that none of the SDRs have been fired because of a solution. I'll tell you how, right? There have been only two cases. Either a company is looking to hire a new SDR. They are finding it painful because they have
even we have less SDRs in the market.
Exactly. Quality SDRs.
Quality SDRs.
SDRs so are there.
Quality SDRs are less.
I'll tell you a very interesting thing that, again, might be a bit controversial to say, but one of my prospects told me this, ki, yaar, in India, US is a different market, by the way. In India, what if we talk about, if you are not able to do anything, you become a customer support agent or an SDR, right? So it is the lowest, right? Like, you SDRs today also, when they join in, not the good ones, the ones who are basic, right? You just are surviving. They want to basically become AEs, the people who are essentially able to do the sales, who are able to meet the quotas, make the money, because that's the natural progression, right? Now suddenly a solution like this, what happens with this, right? You get more leads. More leads means now you need more salespeople.
Correct.
Why do you go out and hire more new salespeople? You promote your SDRs. Suddenly company is making more money, you are making more money, everyone is happy. Alternatively, you do not increase your SDR team. The best companies, if I take an example of US companies as well, like Gusto for example, they have a 3-people team. They were planning to do it 12. They had us. Now they're stuck with three people because the 12 people job, the 9 extra people job was done by the AI. AI SDR is still not taking over the job completely. The phone call still has to happen by a human being, right? Or someone has to basically go and qualify the customer. That all human relationship part of the system is not taking over. That the AI, the actual human SDRs are doing, and let the remaining work being done by an AI system.
This is really true actually, because it's been 6 years for me. Still, I am doing the sales. Okay, so initial 3 years when I used to do reach outs, I was doing. Now I don't do reach outs, but referrals and all, that is a very different ball game. But if I want to do a reach out, I always think twice that if I hire someone, I need to train the person. Instead, I being in touch, I think 4 or 5 months with you, I never understood the product this level today, what I have understand. So it's like quite beneficial for me as an individual also कि साथ में side by side
we'll discuss
all
the product.
तो ये वाला actually part pending रह गया इतना दिन से. So now coming to the scenario, like why you have been into the sales role for all of your years, I believe, right? Yeah. What was the time you felt that you need to build something like this? And can you tell me that when was the time you came to Bangalore and what you were doing before that?
Sure. So I came to Bangalore just after my college. So I studied in BIT Mesra, mechanical engineer by education. 2016 got passed out, basically got out of my college. Had an offer to join Cast24, very early days of Cast24. Like I was like technically the first intern in Cast24. I was the one who started by serving coffee to the management and then ended 4 months.
As a mechanical engineer you joined, right?
Yeah, so my college has a very interesting thing that you can work as you can intern for the last semester. Like, all the Birla colleges have that, right? So my last semester I had like internship opportunity, so I went and interned for Cast24. They were extremely against because they were very early, like 2016. Think about early 2016 January. They just raised their money, right? Like nothing happening, right? Joined them because one of the college seniors was there. Who basically introduced me there, and Yeah, I started by delivering coffee or giving coffee to one of the seniors. Ended 4 months by actually creating SOPs for Cars24 India wide operations. Right, so that was my tectonic shift. Like from nothing to I grew to someone who's like now the whole company is running after. That gave me the taste of startups, and I always was like I want to start something of my own. So I had a job, like at least PPO. I said no, I don't want to work here because I want to start something of my own, something tech, and the place to work or do that is Bangalore in India. Came here, was like I'll figure it out. Joined here happy, which recently got acquired by Cred. I think actually not recent, 2 years back. Was building their complete strategic alliances part.
And this was a year?
2016.
Okay.
Right. Completed that, joined Blackbuck, stayed there for some time. Blackbuck was my interesting stint where I actually felt the 0 to 1 journey because I was the new initiatives guy.
Okay.
My job was go in, create markets, come out, right? And luckily, I was directly working with some of the best, like I think current co-founders of Zetwork were my counterparts, right?
Okay.
My boss at that time was Chanakya, the CEO, Blackbuck, and got to learn a lot. Basically, understood a 0 to 1, 1 to 10, 10 to 100 journey. I think my team, we did $30 million in ARR, basically just by staying in Blackbuck, and that par basically got me to be like, hi, I can do sales. I'm good at sales, I think. I can do, basically entrepreneurship. I now need to basically figure out my co-founder and do everything else. Later, I basically went in another company, which is the early stage company, Zoomtail. That closed down, unfortunately, due to COVID. But that was my stint where I was like, I am there where I know I can raise. I have people in my network who will help me raise. I have co-founder candidates with me. And let's start off. And I also...
After the last company, third company actually, then you started this. Yeah. And it was year?
2021.
2021. And then you had a co-founder from beginning.
Yeah.
And he was CTO.
Yeah. So we have a very interesting dynamics. Sudipta and I, we do not call ourselves as CEO, CTO. We call ourselves as co-founders. Because one very important thing that we figured out was these titles do not mean anything if the company doesn't make big money.
But किसी को tech तो बनाना ही पड़ेगा ना, वो बनाए थे.
And that again, I think this is the biggest, by the way, this is the biggest misconception that YC cleared for us. So we were in YC Winter 23 batch, right? YC told us something very interesting. If there are two co-founders, both need to build and both need to sell. So I technically can't code right now. Right? So what do I build? I build the auxiliary systems. I build any kind of basically automation systems that I can build out. I build product. I basically get into product. I'm the basically product manager of the company.
Got it.
Vice versa. Sudipto definitely codes. He builds. But he's also the de facto sales guy. He's right now the success lead of the company. We actually have a tech person, Shival, who's right now running the entire engineering org, and Sudipto is looking after success.
And how big is the team now?
So we have a 17 people team. And yeah, now we are in the space where we are mostly hiring new people. It will be a larger team soon as well.
Great journey. So, but in this whole process, like when you started entering into the AI field in 2021, still this was very new market. I would believe that 2024, this AI game all started in India.
2023.
Mid of 2023.
So I remember this actually during the YC batch. So YC batch was January to April. In that portion only ChatGPT came out.
The ChatGPT
came out. So February 2023, the world shifted.
The people who that time were making search.
Yep.
Global search kind of a platform. Everyone was making search. Yeah. And from then the different things came into the market, and 2025 is all about agentic AI. But today we talk about agentic AI. 24 it was slighter lesser.
23 was, so I'll tell you, 23 was the year of models. 24 was the year of applications and models. Thoda people were moving away. 25 became the year of agentic AI.
Agentic AI plus LLMs now.
Yeah.
Infras we talk about. But for you, when did you guys discover that we need to build something on agentic AI?
Oh, we discovered we need to build something in agentic AI before even world knew that there is something called agentic AI. In fact, one of our advisors, so he was the MTS, director level person in OpenAI. In fact, he's one of the authors in the GPT-3 paper. Right? He's right now, I think director or something in Meta, right? We were telling him this is what we are doing. We were in SF, we were meeting him, and he's like, "Oh, you are building agents." We're like, "What is what?" He's like, "Yeah, this is called agentic AI. This is what we call internally in OpenAI. This is what we call agents as." Like, oh, this is agents. We never knew that. So,
okay, people were doing something, but the name was not there.
So when we started off, right, like even in 2022, when we basically were looking at AI very seriously, what we were looking at, we were always looking at GPT. GPT ke options were still there. GPT-3 became Chat GPT, but GPT options were always there, right? GPT-2, all of those were still there. So we were already experimenting and were using GPT ka some version in our solution, right? One of my very good friends, Line Chat, Nikhil, right? You might know him. He, again, very similar to our story, right? Like they were also using some form of GPT. So we were always in conversation, trying to figure out, what.
And Line Chat is also a very old company, actually.
2019 company, right? Like they were using the primitive forms of GPT, right? So we were using that always, right? And we had this understanding. Here, see, AI can do everything. AI can write good stuff. What if we make it write actually function calls? So that, and then we push that function call into the integrated software to make that action actually happen. Right? That was the idea. Very rudimentary idea. Like if you think about it, like things very simple here. But then people started calling it actions by AI. Then people started calling all of that process to and fro agentic AI. And we're like, okay, we are also agentic AI.
And then when did Alisha SDR came?
So Alisha, so 2024. So there's a big problem by the way with agents and agentic AI and all these language models as well. None of these models are created for function calling.
Okay.
So the problem that still, if you see at the benchmark level, at all these state of the art models, right? Let's talk about Sonnet 4 by Anthropic, or which is by the way supposedly the best coding model, right? Even if you look at their benchmarks for function calling, which is basically, can I put in a language prompt and it creates a right function API call to basically be pushed through. The tau benchmark, I'm not remembering the exact number, it was but around 60 to 70%. It was not nearing the 90% mark, which is considered good in this market, right? So we had to build out our own model because of that. So that's one thing which we basically focused on. So 2023 to 2024, we built something called Thor V2.
Okay.
Now Thor V2 is basically the only model in this world right now which is completely built for function calling for the sales space.
And apart from that, none of the models have this particular thing.
So basically, they are all generalistic models. They can do parts of it, but it's basically, think about domain expertise. So we have a domain expert model. This model, if you use, you basically push any kind of basically sales kind of query into it, and the output expected is also, a function call of a sales tool like a CRM or an email system or something like that. The system will be able to do that at a 93% accuracy. And that was essentially the breakthrough that we were basically working with. So we were working with a lot of customers before that as well. But why is there such a high churn in basically SDRs or agentic space? Because people do not get those kind of accuracies. Right? Customers feel that okay, 40% of the time the system is anyway not working. Why should I work? Versus for us, our churn is under 5%. Like it's very, very low. Anyone who's leaving is only leaving because they did not get the results that they were expecting, right? So we built it out. In 2024 mid is when we basically built and launched the first tool on top of that model, which is Alisha. So officially we started selling in August last year.
Okay, and Alisha has been, I think, being used by a couple of bigger companies also, right?
Yeah, we have again Paystone, Gusto, Cashfree right now. Like so, tons and tons of companies. Like we have some amazing companies who are using and loving it.
Okay, but after Alisha SDR, like, are you guys gonna build some other agents for different functions?
Yeah, so they're already in works. Ultimately, we can call them different things, and it's easier. It's basically created so that it's easier for the customers to differentiate and buy the right product. But we already have basically Jesse, the first part, the lead research part.
And then Jesse will what Jesse will do?
Jesse is basically the lead research assistant. So if you don't want to reach out, let's say the same place,
okay. Right? I just want to
gather the data, right? Because that's a big opportunity as well. I want to gather data, but let's say want to start doing the phone calls. That's a big opportunity. That's basically a very good entry point for people to get into the AI space and basically leverage it out. So that's Jesse.
So it's a half of the work of the Alisha.
Yeah, Alisha is essentially full suite. Jesse is the initial part of research.
Exactly.
But with that research of Jesse, you think about it like deep research, right? You're doing deep research on, like, there are no models which we would be doing very good deep research for sales specific roles on Rishav. So that is what Jesse is. It's a deep research model. It's like a similar to like ChatGPT ka, the whole model to basically a deep research model. That's basically what Jesse and Alisha are. Then there are other tools as well. So basically there's something called Sage, which is RevOps. So after the sales has happened, right? Our like Sage essentially will be able to access your notes, like Firefly's notes, anything like that,
Okay.
and will be able to understand that, update your CRM, fill out things, make reminders for you, basically be on top of you to get the deal done.
Okay.
Essentially
After a
RevOps.
demo call.
After the demo call, right? So everything essentially. My vision for the future is very simple. A sales team will only have sales people, the people who are doing sales, and they'll be only doing sales.
Demo, follow-up, commercials,
Yes.
and closers.
That's it.
Apart from that, finding the leads, reaching out.
Updating CRM, managing people, running behind customers, everything.
Okay.
Let AI do it. Why? You are a human being. You have much more creativity to do much more better things. Let the operational work be done by AI. That's what the
Understood.
agenda is.
Got it. So now suppose after I have gone for a demo, all the meeting notes can be mailed instantly via Sage.
It will basically figure it out, pick it up, update it in the right places. In fact, let's say, okay, for example, now sales, right? Like I am at a place where I have to now give this whole, whatever is happening as a download to my manager or to my success person who's now taking over. That whole, like essentially the part where you are running between multiple people, or like I'll say the part of sales where you're doing anything else apart from doing the sales one part, Sage will take it over, right? So RevOps essentially in general is what we call it.
In India, the AI market has evolved a lot over the years. But main game is starting now from 2023, 24 was the entire game. 25 and 26 will be full of drama. What do you feel when you see some people who are just starting today and they feel like after 2 or 3 months they build something and they start calling it agentic AI, and the biggest problem arises when they speak around that these AIs are replacing you as a whole. This is a statement. Every other third LinkedIn post you go or any other content you go is like I am replacing XYZ person. I am replacing video editors. I am replacing designers. So what do you feel when you see as a 4 years old founder, some kids are coming and telling this?
I'll say everyone needs to have their own learning cycle, and they'll also learn that it's not that easy. Let's start with that. So we humans are the most stubborn and resilient species. That's why we still roam around the earth, like that. And that means if you talk about that, I have made a system that makes you whatever you have done in your life till now, I'll make it obsolete by just an AI system. That doesn't happen so easily, right? Like I'll be very honest on things like if you ask me what's my biggest problem when basically I go and meet a customer, what is the biggest challenge that they ask? The biggest challenge is convincing them that they do not need humans anymore. Because we as humans, we are societal beings. We want to safeguard our people, right? Like let's say, if the decision of buying an AI SDR is in the hands of a team lead of SDRs, and if that team lead goes into this, if their job goes, my job might be next, they'll never approve of you. How the hell? So if you start by saying this, first of all, you are fighting the wrong fight.
Correct.
Don't do that. My experience with these customers and with, like, I'll say human psyche is, you should, rather than talking about that, hey, I'll just go and replace this person, right? Like, you should go and start by saying that, hey, I'll improve this job, right? I'll improve your experience with, okay, for example, video editing, right? Video editing is a painful job, right? It will have so many things, right? 100% of that video editing job might never go away because there's a human angle to it, right? You need to know what feels right, what's good, right?
I'm grateful you are saying this.
It's true, by the way. Let me be very honest, it's true, right? Like, so the human angle will never go away. The maximum you can say is, okay, I'll make your video editor's life much easier, right? Maybe I'll make the same person who's shooting also do the video editing job. But you cannot go ahead and say, okay, I'll remove this whole thing altogether, because that is not a possibility. And secondly, also a very big pain, which I have seen and I've experienced, and I know this is I think that anyone who has dabbled in AI will tell you this. The easiest thing to do right now in the world of AI, in software, is to build a POC. 0 to 80% is the shit easiest job. I will open up Cursor tomorrow. I'll take 1 day. I can reproduce any tool, 80% of that in 1 day.
Correct.
The remaining 20% will take lifetime. Let's start with that. A very good example was, I don't know if you have seen this, but there was this amazing, LinkedIn post that had come out. Or actually Twitter. Hey, I realized that I'm paying €54 to DocuSign every month. So I created a DocuSign.
This was
clone.
viral actually.
Yeah, it went viral. 3 days in, the guy comes in and says, hey, I'm getting basically, attacks. I'm basically, my solution is basically a service getting down again and again. I'm getting, basically screwed over. My solution is getting, like it's not working out properly. And literally the community came back and said that, hey, dude, you created 80%, right? It's fine, great job. But who is going to be securing the vulnerabilities? Who will be basically, solving out the effort that human actually took, in basically making that thing up. Similarly to that, there was a very similar thing where someone came and said, hey, I created a Calendly clone, in this much days. And the guy of Calendly, the CEO of Calendly came back and said, now the real game starts. Now let's basically see you do all of this, right? So that's the problem, right? People think creating that POC is their job, right? But it never is.
But that I would say 90% of the people, like mainly in Bangalore, we are in HSR, 80 to 90% people just build this POC or something on wrapper, and then they start going and raising money. But on the investor perspective, what do we feel that, what does investor look upon? Because there are two types of investors nowadays, which I see bifurcated in the market. One who want to invest in AI, one who understand AI. So what's your,
second one was good. Okay. Yeah, that's true. And I would definitely say there is a big problem. There's a big gap in the investor understanding as well when we talk about AI, right? Especially in India. I've seen a very different case in US. People there are much more matured about the AI, the bets that they're taking. So ultimately what's happening with investors, right? They're also taking bets. They're also looking at some random examples and basically making their assumptions on that, right? So now, unfortunately, whatever we say, in India, a few of those factors do not really matter in this AI agentic space, right? In AI space. So I'll give you an example. Like, okay, you say that, hey, this guy, girl, all of those have good pedigree, good colleges. We should invest them. Why?
This will not matter in AI.
Nothing matters, right? Like you essentially will be squashed in by someone who, let's say, is sitting out of US or like who has not even completed their college but is a hustler and is basically getting things out, right? Like similar to that, and the POC problem actually makes a big used to make a big problem there as well. So if you look at 2023, 2024, investments in AI flew in.
Correct.
Like everyone was investing everything in AI. Why? Because they were measuring AI-based tooling with the same lens as they were looking at SaaS-based tooling. If you have built 80% tooling, 20% more tooling will take more 20% of the time, like 40% of the time, 60% of the time.
It's not the actual case.
Yeah, right. And people invested big amounts of money, and then they hit the reality hit to them. The customers are not ready to pay if the solution is not 95% or up.
But what type of companies we are gonna stay? Like this drama will get over in 2 or 3 years, just like Web3.
It's already over by a big extent. But yeah.
Just like Web3, there were too much of drama in 21 and 22. Everyone was doing Web3, and then it got consolidated, and like few companies are there. Yeah. Similarly, in this, where's the full stop to this?
So I have started seeing that already. When you have to look at what's the world gonna be doing in a few years, look at the money trail, right? Simple. Money trail says this very, very clearly. Investments are up, but they have gone down significantly in these experimental test projects. That, hey, I'll build an LLM. Hey, I'll build a new model. Hey, I'll build this. I don't care what you build. The question that now investors are asking, are you able to build a business out of that? So this current batch of YC, if you look at that, On an average, you have $66,000 of ARR. The companies which are 12-week old are projecting that.
Okay.
That batch of 180 companies. Right now, think about it.
This summer batch.
Yeah, X25, the spring batch.
Spring
right?
batch.
Like, so yeah, now, interestingly, if you think about it, we in India are sitting right now and are basically being like, hey, we are startup founders, XYZ, we come from this college, ye, wo, vagera, vagera. I have 80% created product, this is amazing, I have these 4 LOIs. Where is the money? Where competition suddenly is now for the same people, for the same money, is with these YC people who are all sitting in 12 weeks of making the product, making everything, and making $66,000 as well. The best of the highest revenue making companies in YC have over millions of dollars, like 2 million, 3 million, 1 million, 500K ARR in those 12 weeks. So that's the competition. So now the question that has started, everyone started asking is, where's the money, where's the revenue? And if you can give that answer, then you are worth you are the person who is then bankable on. But if you do not have the revenue, people now have started looking away. So ultimately what will happen? All of this is getting collided down. You still have very, very good founders, very, very good people. This could be very, very, very good workers, very ambitious people. They are coming back where now a lot of consolidation is already started to happen, right? A prime example is always look at the top. Scale AI got acquired by Meta.
Correct.
A similar kind of cascading effect will happen with a lot of top-notch talent.
And in fact, companies are also setting down. So I don't know whether you will be putting your words on this or not. Builder.ai.
Well, when we were talking about AI companies, why are we talking about Builder, right? It was not an AI company. Let's start with that. No, yeah. Unlucky. I have met the founder once. Seemed like a very smart guy, but again, we are in a very bad environment. I do say that there's a lot of environmental factor in India versus US, where it becomes very hard, to be a good founder in a long term of things, because it's the environment that basically screws over with you, right? And I'll say honestly, for India in AI, my thesis is simple. India is still the hub of innovation because we are hungry, and interestingly, we are this is the first time in, I'll say over the years where India has finally become a buying hub for any kind of software.
Because now people are buying it.
People are buying AI software. India is one of the fastest companies in India is one of the fastest economies in adoption of AI, right? That gives an amazing opportunity. That's why, by the way, that's what I'm seeing as well with investors. But if we stop looking at that, let's say, hey, these are people who are selling to India, and if we start looking at are these legit businesses, are these good businesses, there's a lot of scope. Because in India, what we can do is because of just the sheer number of people who are founders who are there, we take up these amazing technologies which are there, build applications and sell globally, which includes India as well. And that essentially is what I am seeing as the change in the world, where I don't call it agentic AI, I don't call it anything. I just call it a business. It's a software which does this for my customers, and my customers love it. This is my base which loves it, right? And then let OpenAI build let them basically come out with GPT-5, GPT-6, GPT-10, I don't care.
So, but technology always, what comes to the two-edged squad actually, which we talk about, most of the time when we start giving power to something, it becomes very powerful. Like the way we are doing to AI, like suddenly XYZ person, mother getting a call from his son that I'm in a hospital, but the son is sitting in the office. Mm-hmm. So these particular scenarios are coming nowadays too frequently. So where this should be stopped and how this should be stopped now?
It cannot be stopped. Human greed cannot be stopped. Let's start with that. And our greed is actually to basically do something better. So the problem that we are facing right now is that we are in a decaying society where it is like, we can be happy, we can keep on, trying to survive and everything, but it is in a point where we are essentially, running out of energy. We are running out of basically space. We're running out of so many things, right? AI essentially gives you that extra leverage, that advantage that you can maybe try to survive all of this before everything runs out, because before the environment is screwed, everything is done, right? So we cannot run away from that. The only thing that I've come to realize when this kind of thing happens is, So scam calls in India are not a big thing, right? It happens.
It happens every day.
How are we basically tackling that? We are not shutting down the phone companies. We're not shutting down that, okay, we're just basically creating filters of basically understanding that, hey, this is something which is not real, not right? So that kind of filtering, that kind of, I'll say, policing is something which is needed, and that's something which is being taken care at the top. Because also a very interesting thing about this whole thing is, if you have a system which is screwing up more often than giving better system, better advice, or it's screwing up more than the other systems, its market share always go down because humans do not like that, right? Automatically that will close down. So automatically the one that will survive will be the fittest of all these models, right? And we just have to utilize it better to make our lives better, rather than thinking about what will Transformers happen, what if basically Terminator happens essentially in the near future, right? So that basically, right?
And but for any individual, be it mostly this AI is fascinating those people who are straight out of college, 21 to 25 age group. They are very fascinated, and it's not wrong for them. But what happens for them as an individual? What is the basic they need to understand about this whole structure and the whole infra what we are building around?
I will suggest one very important thing. So there's a very interesting YC talk that's happening. School of AI, I think that's what it's called. So Karpati, I'll say father of AI, he gave a very interesting speech there, and everyone should definitely check it out. Where he talks about this one paper, which talks about the psyche of AI. How is psyche doing things? How is AI doing things, right? Why is AI doing things? That's, I think, very important. So what I would say, anyone who's coming out of college or anyone who's doing anything with AI should start with why. Why is AI doing what it's doing? Instead of thinking that it's like a black box, it is not doing anything, it's like it has no logic behind it. You can actually find that why, and then use that why with your why to find out the right answer and go towards the right path. So for example, if your why is that I want to basically have a successful career in the future, my AI makes a lot of sense. Let me understand how the AI system works out, the why of AI, and you combine that, you have a very successful career ahead of you. You are an AI engineer who will be hired in the industry, and you will be basically going a long distance. Let's say your why is, hey, I think AI can do everything. It's a gold mine, gold rush. Let me try to make something and sell it off and basically make a system out of something like that. Very bad why.
Because in this whole scenario, what happens, the very first step after POC, people hunt for money. That's the raising money. Once raising money, then they tell themselves, now we are into R&D. This R&D phase is never getting over for them. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Investors keep asking them when you are making the first money. But they say that we are doing R&D, now we are planning for second round.
Yep.
So what's the best time to raise money? Obviously I believe right from the POC to the R&D to the first customer, it should not take you more than 6 to 9 months. What I believe. I might be different opinions from AI founders, but they are into the phase of 1-2 years. I still know a couple of companies, I will not say few, couple of companies still building. So what's the right time to launch, to make the money, to raise money?
So I think it's very subjective to businesses.
Correct, it will be there.
Yeah, but my thesis is you should never raise money before the first revenue.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. So in this day and age, it has become anyway very difficult to figure out what your market is really looking for.
And who will pay you for it.
Yeah, and that's the only way. The best way to get someone is, see, I can say, yes, I'll use this product and I'll not use this product.
Correct.
But if let's say I've paid for it, very high likelihood that I'll be using this product because I have conviction there, right? There's always one more thing that, hey, will that person churn out? That's also one of the problems, but that's a secondary problem, right? At the primary level, but if you're not even able to get that, then what you're actually doing is screwing up your own chances. So what I mean by that is, simply put, let's say I'm a founder, I've raised some money, I did 2 years of R&D, nothing happened, company closed down. You think next time when you try to go out and raise money, it will fly easily with any of the investors. These investors will definitely pick up a phone and call the last investors, and that investor will say, hey, he just blew all the money in R&D, did not give us any return. It's a screwed up system. So ultimately what you're doing with this is screwing up your own chances, right? You're making a mess. In the US, global markets, that $1 million or $2 million maybe doesn't have that much value, right? So there you try, fail, succeed, whatever you do, give back the money. There's still a decent chance that, hey, they believe in, whatever you're doing. And here in this market, if you're just blown away the whole money, who the hell is going to be trusting you with their, basically the money that their IRRs have tanked because of you, and you did nothing out of that, right? So it is a very, very bad and risky move.
And this is happening with, I believe, 50% of the companies. 50% of the companies have done this.
And that's where investors are bad. So I do not want to like to say this honestly, but the evaluation process of
is not good because people are not. So the one problem which I observed is like the top, the tier 2 VCs, not the tier 1, they don't even do the technical due diligence on the infras and the models what they are building across. That's the main problem which I have seen majorly.
My technical due diligence had my papers reviewed by experts, my technology reviewed by experts, NDA signed here and there, looking at the technology, them going through the tool, figuring out does it make sense, then them trying those tools, getting one of the basically some of their companies or some of their essentially portcos to try the tool and get that feedback. That's the level of due diligence that you expect, and that's what happens in US. In India, you are an IIT Kharagpur. Well, I'm sorry to say, my co-founder is, but even though, whatever, right? Like you have to realize, you have to, like in India, we have to get over the fact that this tag matters because nothing matters. You are fighting Sam Altman and OpenAI in this space. Believe me, they can anytime come and basically give out a new tool or new basically feature in OpenAI which will kill you. Are you resilient enough to basically pivot out, figure out what's the right way, go ahead and keep doing that? If not, then you have the tag means nothing. Obviously, you're not better than OpenAI. You are not better than Sam Altman. Let's start with that.
So from US, we have OpenAI. From India, what do you think that what are the best companies who are doing something great in this AI space?
Well, first is Floworks, obviously. Let's start with that. First is Floworks, obviously. I'll say definitely interesting work. So I think one of the people that we were talking about, Avatar, they're doing good. Observe AI, some people are here, they are doing really well. There's a lot of companies who have bases in India, have US bases as well. Some of them are doing well. One of my wife's company, Aina, they are doing a very interesting job. Again, not positioning them, but the reason why
I know they are doing interesting.
The reason why I find them interesting is because the problem statement is very clear, crisp. This is what we do, and they are delivering it. So that's doing well as well. I'll not say a lot of companies in the space of making foundational models are doing well. I'll not take the names, but I think everyone knows. There we are lagging behind by trying to catch up on something where we should not be catching up on. Another very interesting company that I look after, Atomic Work. They're also very, very interesting, doing a very good job of positioning themselves as the next leader in ops with AI, right? So I'll say these are a few companies which are doing really well in India. But again, my thesis is India will be the AI applications layer. Let world build the core technology. We can be the people who literally build every other application on top of that and sell it across the world.
Correct. So I believe whether AI founders will be happy to see this podcast or not, but your wife will be.
I am sure. That's why I put it in. See, it's always happy wife, happy life. Screw co-founders.
And I've seen your recent post, then I realized, yes, this is needed.
It's important.
That's it. With this, Sarthak, thank you so much for agreeing to do this. Like I believe yesterday when I texted you, and today we are here.
It was fun.
Thank you so much.
Being an HSR works.
Finally, for which I realized after staying in Whitefield for 3 years.
You should always be an HSR.
Cool then. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you enjoyed this.
It was amazing.
Great. With this, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll be coming back with the next episode very super soon.